A Series of Unfortunate Events is a Netflix original based off the books by Lemony Snicket. Unless you've lived under a rock your childhood, you've probably read at least one. This show is a solid 7 out of 10. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. To go back to my roots, I better review it.
Charge of all the new regime.
The main characters of the series are the Baudelaire children, who are rich kids whose parents are killed in a fire that also burned their house down. They are sent into the care of multiple people, all of them being terrible, but each one unique.
If you keep
The part that probably makes this show as good as it is the characters. The main character is Violet, the oldest of the Baudelaire siblings. While I think she isn't a strong enough character to be the lead focus of the show, I also don't think she was a good character. She was smart to a point where not even the narrator could make it funny. She made a grappling hook, and the fact that it was her who made it somehow unfunny. Claus is a smart glasses stereotype, except this time the show acknowledged it and made a joke out of it. Well, I think he is also too smart. I think he's just bold enough of a character to make up for it. I think he's just an overall boring character who really adds nothing new, and he's just a sort of second Violet. The one really good character and my personal favorite is Sunny. Even though she can't talk, I feel like she was the character who had the strength to move it forward. If she was able to talk, I would feel like this show would be a 10. She is genuinely funny, and I think the sharp teeth aspect is hilarious. In my notes, I simply wrote, "Cute baby OMG. When can we not use a cute baby in our day?" The main villain of the show is Count Olaf, and to be honest, I think casting Neil Patrick Harris was a great choice, and he's a surprisingly good villain. I think he's stupid to agree where it's not funny, but then again, this show doesn't take itself seriously. The show did a great job making the villain worthy of hate, and making him backhand a kid really helped that. He's a pedophile and a communist, a gentleman and a scholar, but his henchmen are so bad. Like Jesus, the narrator was Lemony Snicket, he carries the beginning of the show. He's a funny character who's well incorporated into the show, and the whole aspect of him being in a secret society is hilarious. The first Guardian was Count Olaf. The next one was Dr. Montgomery, who owns a lizard collection. He unfortunately was killed by Count Olaf, but he was just an average character who had no effect on the show. Their Aunt Josephine was the next Guardian, and she was a scared old lady who lost her courage when her husband died to leeches. She dies to Count Olaf too, but she was the worst character.
chasing your ski.
The show was super funny with Lemony Snicket usually carrying it. I don't understand why all these types of shows have to end with a guy heading slowly towards a saw. There was some epic music, mostly sung by Neil Patrick Harris, and the old-timey feel was done right, especially the music. The show actually does narration right with Lemony Snicket actually being a character and not being invincible. There's amazing cinematography with amazing set design and makeup. It appeals to people who haven't even read the books. My favorite part of this show is that it knows what it is and excels at it. It acknowledges the stereotypes, and that's why I love it. My nitpicky things to say about this show is that it's another tragic backstory you have to feel bad for. It's bad at show don't tell, and that it's too simplified. My real problems with the show are that it's way too repetitive, with only a few things changing between Guardians. The real problem is the main strong character that can move this show forward can't even talk. Violet should push the show forward, and though the villain is good, the villain is only as good as the protagonist, or the boring Baudelaire kids. Did it live up to the hype? In short, yes. This show, while not better than the book, takes what were good about the books and adds killer visuals and makeup. What the show lacks in story, it makes up for in funny characters. That's all I have for this part. I probably should have thought this through. This is an amazing show which I would recommend anyone watching, even those who have read the books. As always, thanks for watching. Goodbye.